Where's everybody?
They're all asleep. How do you feel?
It's better. Will you loosen these? My arms are starting to get numb. A little more. That's it.
Nick, we must talk.
Will you get the legs?
About last night. You know, he just heard me crying.
A little more.
He just heard me crying. Nick, you mustn't!
Gotta get out of here.
Nick.
Before it's too late.
We can't.
We've got to.
No.
Well, you want to get married. All right, we'll get married just as soon as we get down off this
Get
mountain.
back, you
Come
shouldn't.
on, come on. Ow. Ow.
Nick.
All right. All right.
We can't.
All right.
He made me do it, Mrs. Barkley. I had no choice.
You always have a choice.
He tricked me into untying him.
Did he also trick you into leaving with him?
Oh, he was in such pain, such need. I couldn't think.
Couldn't think beyond your own selfish need to be Mrs. Nick Barkley? You were ready to risk his life for that.
No, Mrs. Barkley, I was afraid. I was afraid if we waited, I'd change my mind.
Can you talk about it?
I don't know.
To Nick?
Yes.
Hester. Hester. What time is it?
It'll be dawn in a few hours.
How long have I been asleep?
A long time.
Well, seems like a bad dream. Nightmare.
There's a doctor on the way. He should be here very soon.
Heath. What's all that about?
Nick, I tried to tell you. He just heard me crying and...
Crying? Why?
It's traditional. It's a woman's right to cry before she's married.
So you were crying.
And Heath came over to find out what was wrong.
I must be a... You name it. Hester, I love you so.
Oh, Nick, I know.
When all this is over, I promise I'll make you so happy.
Nick, do you want to know the real reason why I was crying? It was for the parties, Nick. The dancing, the champagne, and the fun.
You won't be living in a monastery.
No, Nick, it won't be the same.
The Valley's not San Francisco or New York, but parties.
Oh, Nick, I love being beautiful. I love beautiful clothes.
You'll get over that.
Oh, Nick, if you could just make me believe that. Oh, please make me believe it. Nick, you'll help me, won't you? Nick, please help me.
I'll help you. But Hester, you've got to be sure. Very sure. You don't want to be tied down. Be sure.
I'm sorry I took so long getting up here, Mrs. Barkley, but I was kind of tied up. Triplets, as a matter of fact.
Doctor, will he be all right?
Oh, he'll be fine. Just give him these for pain. I don't think he'll need them now. He's been through the worst of it. But whoever thought up that contraption? I don't think it saved his life, Mrs. Barkley, but it sure saved him a long stretch on his back. A good long stretch. I wouldn't move him for 4 or 5 days. Then he should be able to make it on his own.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor, would you mind if I rode down with you?
It'll be a pleasure to have your company, miss.
Nick? Nick, I've come to say something, and I hope you'll understand. You told me last night to be sure before making up my mind. But I stayed awake all night, trying to be sure. Trying to be honest with myself like I've never been before. I know now that I wasn't crying because of the parties, the champagne, or the pretty clothes.
Hester,
Please don't try to say anything. Just listen. The truth about Heath is that I wanted to find a way to make him want me. I needed him to want me, as I've always needed the attention of attractive men. Seems I have to keep reassuring myself, only I'm never truly reassured. If I'd come here with Heath, then I'd have wanted your attention, and I'd have done anything to get it. It's a weakness, a terrible flaw. But at least now I can admit it to myself. And hope someday I'll be ready to devote myself to one man. And I hope he'll be somebody like you.
Hester.
I'm going now, Nick. Because I don't want to hurt you more than I already have. I only ask that you try to understand, and maybe someday you'll find it in your heart to forgive me. Goodbye, Nick.
Hold it. Hold it.
Now, Nick, the doctor said...
I know what the doctor said. That's why I said hold it. Oh. Thanks, Heath. Well, now, don't everyone start applauding. I've been practicing this little stunt for the past 3 days with pretty fair success.
Well, well, now that he can walk, I'd say there's certain catching up to be done around here, wouldn't you, Heath? Like bringing up that herd from Sonora.
We didn't tell you nobody's been able to break your new Appaloosa. It's your turn next. And I'm going to school tomorrow. So that means you have to fence in the new pasture.
Silas, bring me my wheelchair.